Hey guys, this is Ravenclaw What If. Welcome back to another What If story. Now, this is the final part of What If Deku had an ice quirk called Jack Frost, part 26. Now, I need to say something before we, continue on with the What If. I'll try to make this episode the longest I possibly can, but this might be a this not this part not be sorry this part might not be very long, so I'll try to lengthen it as much as I can. But there's a there's a possibility that it might be a shorter video than normal. We cut to we start our episode off somewhere in the city as you see a bunch of middle aged people, couple younger ones, but they're all arguing about what they're gonna do because their symbol piece, is not looking good because he's pretty much done with hero work because he doesn't have anything left when it comes to his last of his ember that he used up. These figures in the room are the major factors of the hero association, the key figures. As in the middle of their argument, they heard loud gunshots from outside as all of them dead silence as they stare at the door, as they keep hearing several gunshots as out of nowhere there's a clear silence as all they heard was a loud scream as they look at the door as it's looks like something bright on the other end as a burst of fire bursts through the main door as several Nomu come, fly crawling in there. As they see Diablo walk towards them, as all the Nomu stop, as he gestures himself as Kirigiri is behind him. Well, aren't we all cozy up right here? So this is where all the key factors roll in the Hero Association. Well, I'm honored. As what do you want, villain? Oh, and how do you know I'm a villain? As several, we already know who you are, Diablo. What do you want? Simple, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to remove you from your positions. As a man, you don't have the power to do that. That I do, old fools. As he lights up as he ignites his fire quirk, as he ignites the whole room, killing all the council members, except for a couple. Snack time, as two dog-shaped Nomu come out of the shadows. As it charges, it lunges at the two left survivors. As all you could hear is a screaming, a gargling noise after their windpipe got punctured. As the portal closes, as he goes through it, as the portal reopens somewhere else, as Diablo pulls out his phone, as he calls he calls someone immediately. Is everything ready? Glitch, is everything ready on your end? Yeah, boss. Everything's ready for your little plan for your what you have planned. It's really easy to hack into the news feed. What's the location on the target? Sir, he's at the hospital. He's still there. Good. Proceed with what we have planned. Yeah, sure, boss. As you see this is the person that responsible for framing Izuku. Diablo has his own personal little hacker on his team. Diablo put his phone back in his pocket. Kirigiri, are the Nomos ready? Yes, sir. I just gotta transport them on your ward. Very well. You know where we need to go. As the portal opens, to the hospital, as Midoriya is with his mother, as she's conscious, she's just resting up. Kennedy is, upset. She's right next to Izuku. She's upset because her, Asashi died. They still haven't, fully mourned him yet, because other things been going on. As Kennedy look at the TV screen, as she sees a skull symbol, as this shows appear all around the city. Every screen's every screen has a symbol on it on every station. Sorry, on every channel. Diablo had him hack into the TV, hack into the waves and hijack. Basically hijacked it. So that's basically. I'm not going to go into it right now. I don't know what the proper phrase to call it. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank right now. As everyone that watches sees the television. Sorry, everyone that sees this caught the broadcast. As everyone sees a man sitting on a desk, wearing a suit. Greetings, citizens. Let let me proper introduce myself. I am Diablo, the leader of the League of Villains. Rejoice, citizens, you have been selected to be part of the very first citywide event hosted by the League. Now, you're probably wondering, what is that disgusting creature by me? As he fans the camera to the camera, pans to the Nomu. This is a what you call a Nomu, a humanoid creation. I won't get into details, and the person who created these things is no longer an issue, so you don't need to worry about that. But I have placed these Nomu all around the city. And your part in this event is simply survive. Feel free to use your quirks. I highly recommend you do so. And don't worry about that pasticky little law about quirk usage out in public. The Hero Association is no longer an issue. They're all dead. By my hands. But I'm not unfair. Every type of Nomu have different quirks. It depends on the variant of Momo that I release. Now, every Nomu have a weakness. You see the exposed brain? Aim there. And most of the time, you'll win. And Izuku Midoriya, I know you're watching. Your part in this is very important. I have I put that young child in the middle of the city. In about, give or take 5-10 minutes, I will release my wolf's Nomus out. They will track her scent, and they will tear that little girl to pieces. Only thing stopping that terrible fate to that poor young child is you. And if you succeed in rescuing the child, then the girl will relay the location. I'll be waiting for you, Midoriya. Don't disappoint me now. as the feed cuts off. As Inko tries to get up, as Kennedy puts her back into bed, as she's like, "Stop it, Mom, you're in no condition." As Ezekiel leaves, as he's about to walk out, as Kennedy, where you going? Where do you think I'm gonna go? I'm gonna save the girl. Then I'm gonna kill that bastard. Ezekiel starts to run out of the hospital. This is Jack Frost. I need units at the city immediately. The city is under attack. As the Nomos has begun to attack the city, carnage is roaming the streets. As heroes are trying to do the best they can. Because the amount of Nomu is out, it's huge. So yeah, Diablo doesn't care. He's done. So he releases every Nomu that the Doctor created before he killed him. As Izuku gets a talk, as Izuku calls Endeavor, are you aware of the situation? I'm full aware of the situation, boy. I was just like, I'm full. Sorry, I'm in. I know the full situation. I just got done watching Fee myself. I'm about to head out. Endeavor, I've already put out the order. Hopefully the Hero Suppressed Task Force will be on the ground soon. You'll be getting backup. Understood. I'm already going to do my part. As Izuku hangs up, as Endeavor grabs, Shota to help him, defend, everything basically. All right. I catch my saying a lot in my attempt at this. My bad. I'm pretty hyper up. I'm really hyper up right now on soda, so I'll try to fix that. I'll try to stop myself from doing that in the future. So let's continue on. Not a lot of heroes are doing so great. A lot of the heroes, well, the lower tier, they all get massacred at first. Then when the higher ranking heroes appeared, that's when they start pushing back. Then Hero Suppressed Task Force showed up like probably like 10 or 15 minutes after the big leaguers showed up. So they're pushing everything back. But they can't do that for like sorry. But they're spread out too thin, so they're in a lock. And the Nomus are starting to push them back after they finally started to push them back. So yeah, it's about that's been going on with the little conflict. As Ezekiel is running around the city looking for Eri, he doesn't know her name, but I'll be for her from Eri from now on. As he did put out for sorry, he did ask the agency to look out for a girl with silver hair with a horn, was wearing rags. Give him the location immediately if you spot her. As about 20 minutes, they finally got spot. Oh, sorry, they finally got sights on her. As you have Izuku running through the city, as so three Nomu pop out of nowhere. They charge at Izuku. As Izuku stops, as before the Nomu could even touch him, they all froze instantly. As Izuku sees a little girl running into an alleyway, as she's being chased by three dog-like creatures, it's the wolf Nomu. As each time a Nomu tries to get close to him, they freeze instantly. He simultaneously is open and closing up his ice domain skill. As you have Eri, she's running through the alleyway. As she ran through the wrong alley as it's dead end. There's just a big brick wall in front of her. As she turns around, as you could see the fear in her eyes as she leans against the wall, as she sees four of these wolf nomu as they're slowly creeping up on her, as they're making growl noise. With as all Eri could see is their jagged teeth, as saliva is dripping off them. As they get a distance, as these Nomu get in a distance to charge, as they all lunge at her all at the same time, as Eri closes her eyes, waiting for death, as a few seconds happen, as all she is she's stuck in like a cold surfaces, a cold dome, as Izuku created an ice dome blocking from the Nomu to getting to her. As all the Nomu jump off the dome, as they turn around to look at Izuku. As Izuku cracks his neck, as electricity starts emanating off of Izuku, as as he flash steps like as he flash steps, as the Nomu don't know where he is, as all the Nomu can see is one of their compatriots is his head is gone as Izuku did a smash into the ground. As Izuku looks at as he looks at the Nomu, as he unsheaths his sword, as he cuts the Nomu straightly in half. As the last, I think there was three. Yeah, if I said there was four, there was three. As the last Nomu tries to jump out of the way, as Izuku throws the sword, as it goes strictly through the Nomu, pinning him to the wall. As it's as it growls at him, as Izuku grabs it by the head, as he freezes it from the inside out, as he smashes it, as it crumbles into little particles of ice. As as he sorry, as he made the dome disappear. As Eri sees Izuku, as she's still shaking, as she's trying to back up a little bit, as Izuku gets down her level and smiles. Don't worry, don't worry. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm kind of hero in training, if you would call it something like that. And I'm also pretty high up on the Hero Suppress Task Force. What's your name? My name is Izuku. She's like, Eri. That's a nice name, Eri. Now, Eri, I'm gonna walk over to you, get closer, and inspect to see if you're injured, and I'm gonna take care of you from now. I'll take you somewhere safe. As Eri, was very suspicious, but she finally agreed. As Izuku made sure she's alright. As Eri, that scary man told me to hand you this. She has a piece of paper that's where he's located. As he's, thank you, Eri. So, who's your parents? If you could tell them their name and description, I could get people to look for them. As Izuku knows that she got a sad face. As she softly says, "I don't have parents." That's fine, Eri. Then I'll take care of you. As Eri looks up to Izuku, as she's like, "What?" As she's like, "Yeah, I'll take care. I'll take you in." Where are we going, Mister Izuku? As Izuku, laughs, says, "We're going to the hospital, of course." As why are we going there? My mother's, staying in there for right now. I'm gonna leave you with her and my sister. You'll be well taken care of until I return, Ari. As Kennedy sees her brother walking back in the room, as brother, why are you here? As she sees the young girl, oh, that must be the girl that Diablo guy was talking about. As Izuku, yep, this is Ari, and I'll be taking her in from now on. As as Kennedy's like, oh, that's fine. She's like, what? Say that again. Yeah, or she doesn't have any parent at the moment, so I'm gonna take her in. As Inko's like, are you sure, Izuku? That's a lot of responsibility, and Izuku's, it's fine. I'm well prepared. I have a steady income. I have the money to provide a safe home for little Aerie here. As Izuku bends down on Aerie's level and pats her on the head. Now, you're gonna stay here with my mom and my sister. They'll take good care of you. I have to go and punish that bad man. As Aerie doesn't want him to go. As Kennedy's like, where are you going? Finishing this, sister. This madness needs to end. He needs to be put down. As she was a bit shocked by this, as she was stunned, as Izuku just walks out of the room. As we do a little time, some distance jump. Basically a time skip. I just don't want I just don't want to go like get into vehicles and drive and all that stuff. So we're just gonna get onto it. As Izuku sees Diablo on a hill, observing the city, as he sees the city burn, as he has a bright smile on. Isn't it beautiful, Midoriya? It's my best work yet. Beautiful. You call this madness beautiful? Nothing but chaos. Exactly, Midoriya. Chaos. It's pure. I freed them, Midoriya. I freed everyone. How is this freedom, Diablo? They. As Diablo starts laughing. It's because there is no right, wrong. Simply survive. And the ones that do survive will blossom while I take the place of ruling them all. Then find a new doctor, then rinse and repeat all around the world until everything's mine. Given it's going to be a hassle to find another doctor, in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have offed the man, but he was completely crazy. Izuku gets in a stance he un as he unsheaths his sword. He picked it up on the way out when he saved Ares, so I don't have to explain that much, but yeah, he still has it. As Diablo smiles, huh? A good old fashioned sword duel. I like it. It so happens I brought my own. Kirigiri, sword please. As Izuku sees Kirigiri holding a old fashioned katana, as he unsheathes it. As Izuku and Diablo, they charge. As every sword slash is um, countered with another sword slash. As you see Izuku and Diablo, their clothes are getting rips on them from the nips and cuts from the blades. As they break off, as Diablo shoots out metal, not metal. Let's give me a second here. as Diablo touches the ground, as rock spikes shoot out to Midoriya, as Izuku blasts them with ice, freezing them as they drop to the ground. As Izuku creates a ice sword in opposite hand as he charges at Diablo, as several rock spikes coming at Midoriya as he cuts right through him, each one that passes by him, as they shoot off behind him as they hit a tree or what's behind their area. As Izuku goes in for a as he puts Diablo black as Izuku cuts right through Diablo's sword. As Midoriya jumped up and kicked him the side of the head as Diablo goes flying. As soon as Midoriya touches the ground, hit the ground, he touches the ground with his hand as several, pretty sharp ice spikes shoot out of the ground, aiming at Diablo. As Diablo touches it, it blows up as he's using Overhaul's quirk. This is a nifty little quirk, Midoriya. I kind of fancy it. Construct and reconstruct the possibilities. As Izuku creates several ice constructs as they charge at Diablo, as Diablo unleash fire from his hand, melted them pretty easily. As when he finally got Midoriya, when the fire stopped blocking his view, as all he saw was a humongous scythe coming towards him. All Diablo could see is a humongous ice scythe swiping right at him as he barely dodged to the left as it pierces his cheek, as all he saw the blade turn as Izuku sliced him again as it cut right through his side. As Diablo jumps out of the way. As Izuku unleashed his ice domain, as everything turned to ice, as it becomes, he has full reign around this area. As Izuku creates several ice pillars aiming at Diablo, as he's jumping on top of them, as he's throwing fire at Izuku, as Izuku has to create an ice wall to block the fire. The wall was cracking as Izuku had no time to react, as he encased himself into ice. As the blast goes off, Izuku created ice armor, basically what it came down to it. As he cased himself in this ice-like armor, as the cracks in armor fall off after the blast ended. As you have Diablo smiling, walking towards Izuku. As he's panting. He's not used to all for one his quirk just yet. Well, Midoriya, I guess it's time to tick things up a notch. As Diablo disappeared from Midoriya's view, as all he felt was something hit him straight in the gut. As Diablo appears, as Diablo knees him straight in the stomach. As he knees in the back of the head, as Izuku goes straightly to the ground. As Diablo blasts him with fire, as Izuku barely had enough time to roll out of the way. Izuku was forced to go into full cowling, as he goes to kick Diablo, as he blocks it, as they continue to fight, as with Diablo using a super speed quirk with a string quirk, as he's holding his own against Izuku, but his strength quirk doesn't match up to the quirk he has, so power wise, no match for a one for all. So yeah, it's a decent strength quirk, but nowhere near that level. With full Kalinen, With the speed he's gaining on Diablo, as he smashes, as he punches him right in the gut, as he goes flying far, as he goes flying into the wilderness, slamming through a lot of the trees, as he crashes into the ground, as there's smoke in the forest. All you could hear is continuously smashing noises as you have Izuku in front of Diablo as he's smashing him into the ground over and over again, trying to beat him to death. While Izuku is pounding him to the ground, Diablo grabbed the knife from his side as he stabs him in the side of the body. What's the what? I totally forgot what the side of that. Sorry, I totally forgot this what you call it. Near the kidneys, that area, that region. Whatever. I'm not going to get into the full. I don't want to go and try to try and force myself to remember something that I probably not going to remember anytime soon. So as Izuku jumps out of the way, holding his side of his waist, near that area. Izuku always has a handy knife in cases like this. As he pulls out the knife, as he gets in a knife stance, as Diablo gets up, as he struggles to get into a stance, as they're going to have a straight up knife fight, as he lunges, as Izuku blocks it, lunges at his throat, Diablo twists his blades a certain the opposite way as he slices upwards, blocking the blade from the knife, as Izuku knees him in the stomach, throws the knife his opposite hand as he goes stabs him in the back, piercing his skin as Izuku stabs him in the back a couple times, knees him in the face. As Diablo is barely holding on, he's barely holding on he's barely standing on his 2 feet. As he's waving a lot, as he starts throwing fire out, as his vision's going blurry. As Izuku gets into a strike stance, as he charges Diablo, all you see is as Diablo swings his knife downwards, as Izuku tilts himself, as you have Midoriya stab upwards up to Diablo's chin, as he pierces Diablo in the head, as he's starting to cough up blood, as Izuku pulls it out, as he stabs him several times in the neck, over and over again, as he switches hands, as he stabs on the opposite side. You notice he's regenerating, as Izuku grabs onto his throat, as he starts freezing him, as you have Diablo laughing. There you are. That's what I wanted to see. As Diablo's smiling psychotically, as he's trying to gasp for air, as Izuku's choking him at the same time. As several ice spikes starts to form on the ground, as they all shoot out at Diablo, missing Midoriya, as they all pierce him into his body, while he's holding him up, as he drops him to the ground, as he finally freezes over, as Izuku stomps on the ice corpse as it shatters into little pieces. As Izuku heads back to the city, helps the others to control the area. They slowly. It took about 6-7 days straight to kill all the Nomu and get the general population back under control. As the news of the hero organization were all assassinated, there was a lot of chaos. People didn't know how to react and what to do. A lot of crooked cops were abusing their power, but the one thing that kept everything connected was the Hero Suppressed Task Force. They punished any crooked cop, any crooked hero, and suppressed any villain that tried to use this time to establish their dominance. After the events cooled down, Izuku did adopt Eri into the Midoriya family, as Eri became a Midoriya. Eri Midoriya doesn't really have a catchy tone to it, but yeah, that's how that happened. And over, Izuku did graduate from UA. After he graduated from UA, Shota and Momo, he did get married to both of them. They did have plus if we're counting Eri, Izuku had 3 kids, 2 girls and 1 boy. After graduating from UA, he did the hero job for a few years, then eventually step down from the role. He was the number one for a little bit. Then I forget what the word is called. Then he recommended Kennedy the spot for number one hero, and Kennedy was happy to take over the role, and she took it by she it was really easy for her to do, and she's really good at it. So she has a large fan base. And after his retirement from being a pro hero, he decided to stay home and help raise the children and still do his other job, as his aunt finally did step down, as Izuku became the director of the Hero Suppressed Task Force. His second hand is Toga, and the Heroes Association did structure again, but it's a little bit different now. There are several seats on the association that are from the Hero Suppressed Task Force. So they have a seat of power in that sense. As slowly, the new things of way progress, villains try to make a name for themselves. The Quirkless still being looked down upon, but not as badly, as they have a place to go if they want to do something with their life outside of the normal job. The Hero Suppressed Task Force is always looking for new recruits, so they would always try to recruit the Quirkless population. As we cut some time in the future, as you have Izuku, telling the story from a book, as his 3 younger kids, because Aries a little bit older than them. As you have the oldest. She has clear white hair. Her quirk is, she has an ice quirk that she inherited from both sides of the family, Izuku and Shota. You have Izuku's son, pure white hair color, like his sister, but his quirk's a bit different. He has aspects of the fire quirk, but it doesn't burn. His flames that he produces freezes anything it touches. Ice fire. As you have the last child. A girl was give me a second here. I gotta remember what I had for her. You have a girl with pure black hair, with streaks of white, all silverish white color all around her around what type of hairstyle she has. Quirk. Quirk, ice domain. She's able to input a small area where she's able to control. She's able to create any ice construct that she could think of. Comes from weapons, vehicles if she trained it hard enough. She has to know the chemical makeup of the object that she wants to construct. So it's a bit of a kind of a mixture between Momo and Izuku's ice domain ability. Out of all of his children, she's the only one that what's the word I'm looking for? That type of ability, that type of ability. Sorry, she's the first one that ability, that skill of his ability was passed on to one of his children. Don't know why that was really difficult, but it was. So let's continue forward. As after the event, Dobby went through the process of making up for what he's done, and he did get released under strict watch as he slowly, started to live a normal life. When it comes to Dobby and Izuku, they get along. They get along really well after the whole incident. After he took care of what he needed to take care of personally, Izuku and them, talked quite a lot. Actually, they had a lot of late nights talking. Many of the students from Class 1A, Class 1B, and the general studies, you know, life did progress as they had kids of their own. As somehow Bakugo found someone patient enough to spend their life with him. That would be a tall order because that dude's annoying as hell. During the years, Momo and Shota would always give Izuku crap because it seems to them that he's not aging as he should be, as because of his ice quirk and because of the what's been going on with his blood. He's been aging a whole lot slower. I mean, he'll finally age and die, but his lifespan's a little bit longer than a normal person. As when it comes to his kids, he pays attention to all of them equally, even Eri. Even though she's adopted into the family, he sees Eri as one of his own daughters. So he did train them. It took a lot for Eri to get the courage to use her quirk, as Izuku offered her the quirk canceling, and she took it for a while. Then Izuku finally slowly edged her from using her quirk, as she had a hard time, but she got the hang of it eventually. And when it comes to his daughter was ice creation, he made sure to train her very good. He sees the potential in her quirk that can even surpasses his own, his own version of it. Hers is just more advanced than his. And when it comes to his other daughter, Izuku knows that she's going to surpass him at some point in her life. She has that talent that you can see straight off the bat. And his son is no slouch either. That was a quirk that extremely interested Izuku, as he would always help him research his quirk, best ways to use it, and how to improve upon it. As we cut some time has passed, as you see Midoriya walking into UA's gates. As he passes the security, Hero Suppressed Task Force. As he walks in, as he passes Jiro, as Jiro, oh, Midoriya, you're a little late for your class, aren't you? As he's like, yeah, I'm a little late, but the new students will wait. I'm only a few minutes late, so it won't matter. As she's like, please don't expel the whole class this time. Last year was a mess. They didn't meet my expectations. I won't allow weakness in my class. As she's like, she sighs, every day you're seeming like a Zawa. It scares me. As she's like, shut up, Jiro. I'll talk to you later. As she's like, drink with me and your lovely wives. Definitely, Jiro. I'll talk to you later. Shizuku walks in as he sees the new the new wannabe heroes. As he sees his kids there, they all made it to Class 1A. As you know, he's proud of them. He's proud of them. Quiet class. As they all shut up. Let me introduce myself. I am retired pro hero Izuku Midoriya, or some might know me as Jack Frost. As he hears a snout, as like, never heard of you. You must be not well known if I haven't heard you of your name, so-called hero that's retired. As he looks at the blonde girl with red bright eyes. And who are you, young lady? As she, announced herself. I come from the Bakugo family. I'm not gonna give her, a first name. As bring back memories. You're gonna be an interesting one, aren't you? That's enough chit chat, class. We're gonna do a quirk evaluation. As one of from the Ida family spoke up as she's like, but what about the orientation? As Izuku has his hands behind his back. This is a hero. This is a hero school. I'm here to somehow morph you wannabes into proper heroes. At the moment, you're trash. Nothing. You're not even good enough to be a sidekicks. So I want you to get a file line, get these on. Oh, grab these, go into the locker room, get dressed, meet me on the field. I'll be evaluating if you're if this is the place if this is the best place for you. Wannabes. And if you're late, you're expelled. As he leaves the room, as they all rush out, as they all get ready, as everyone's on the field. Good, everyone's here. From now on, you could either you could either use Sir, Sensei, or Midoriya. Now, I direct my class a certain way. I have full authority by the principal himself. Shota Azawa. Oh, ex-pro hero Racerhead. Let's make myself clear. I don't care what type of quirk you have, or how powerful your quirk is, or what you think it is. You're all wannabes. Given your quirk might be impressive, but without knowing how to use it properly, you're pretty much useless. So if any of you don't get a hero ranking in any of these events, I will expel you on the spot. I don't play favorites, but I also remain fair. But I don't think you guys I don't think you guys have the will to be heroes personally. But as the fair man that I am, I will give you opportunity to show me your will. As soon as he said that sentence, he unleashed a humongous wave of killing intent as all the students fall onto their knees. You can't handle simple technique like this, then you're not ready to be heroes. You're long from ready. Who has the will to be a hero? To pass through the pain? As they all, like, the whole class barely stands up. Ah, good. You, Blondie, throw the ball. As that's the end of it. As he throws, Bakugo's daughter the ball, as we're gonna stop that here. That's the end of this series. Now we'll continue on with Dragon King Deku and finish that off, and we'll go from there. Hope you guys have a good night and day, judging my time zones, and catch you in the next video.